How's it going, guys? It's Grab here, and welcome to another Pokemon video. Pokemon Unite has been getting a lot of traction lately. With the use of international and regional competitions, the game is starting to hit its stride as a capable esports game and even taking steps towards Pokemon VGC. But there are so many things that the game can include, and one of them is more Pokemon. There are so many fans willing to make mechanics and playstyles for their favorite Pokemon, and it actually looks really cool and even playable and not simply overpowered. In this video, I am going to list 15 Pokemon that I think would be a great addition to the game, and I will also propose their category and try to describe their playstyle as best as I can, and hope that it is somewhat understandable. With the intro out of the way, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and let's get on to the video. First up is an obvious one, Sceptile. Sceptile fits so well in Pokemon Unite to the point that it feels perplexing that it's not in the game by now. Sceptile is an obvious speedster in this one since its speed stat is its best stat in the game, and it is shown to be really speedy in the anime. I think that Sceptile would be a really good assassin, leaning more on the ganking and ambushing side, and dealing a crazy amount of damage in a one-on-one scenario, but not that well in a team scenario. It should be extremely mobile to rival Zeraora, for instance. Sceptile is an obvious inclusion in Pokemon Unite, and I'm surprised that it wasn't included ages ago. Next up is Galade. Galade would be a really cool inclusion in Unite with it being a counterpart to Gardevoir. I think Galade would be a really good supporter. It would be switched to an attacker depending on how aggressive you are. Galade could have some kind of reflection skill like Lolita's skill 2 in Mobile Legends, which could counter long-range threats like Decidueye and Cinderace. Galade could also blend well with Gardevoir, and also give it a suitable companion in pairs or in randoms. Next up is Hariyama. Hariyama is a sleeper on this one, but it could be one of the most important pieces in a team. In my opinion, Hariyama should be a defender since he will be more of a tank in this one. Hariyama could be a big tanky body to help with long-range characters, like with what Snorlax is doing right now. But I think we can include even more crowd control for Hariyama, like something similar to Kufra's ultimate or Akai's ultimate. It'll also stay in character with the Pokemon either way. Hariyama may have potential to be a suitable character in Unite and can be a sleeper pick if it comes out. Next up is Ninetales. Not Alolan Ninetales, but the OG Ninetales. Ninetales could also work similar to its Alolan version, but instead of buffing themselves, it can debuff their opponents and potentially have more crowd control. So that means that Ninetales is a supporter. I would also like to see a passive where if Cantonian Ninetales and Alolan Ninetales were in the same team, they would have a huge buff or banking their skills after a cooldown. It can look really cool to see Ninetales have some kind of appreciation since Alolan Ninetales has fluctuating success over recent weeks, and its distant relative can help them out here. Up next is Blaziken. Rumors circulated a while back that Blaziken may be added in Unite, but instead, it went to Delphox. So let's bring Blaziken in the game to satisfy the fans and to include a cherished and powerful Pokemon. Blaziken can either be an attacker or a speedster depending on what skills you put on it. However, Blaziken definitely would feature well in the jungle. I think it would work great in the game since a lot of MOBAs out there have a martial arts related character and Blaziken would fit that perfectly. Its playstyle would be revolved around the jungle, helping out in lanes that need it, and a great fit in plenty of lineups. That or be a mainstay in lanes and be a threat across the board. In fact, I would say that Blaziken, if done well, could rival Lucario as the best character in the game, at least in my opinion. Next is Flygon. Flygon is yet another fan-favorite Pokemon that Game Freak tends to overlook. I think that Flygon would be a great ranged Pokemon to have in a team with moves like Mud Shot or Air Slash as potential moves for the MOBA. Flygon would be an attacker in this instance since most ranged characters are attackers. Flygon could have something related to Sandstorm or a sand-based passive to make it unique to everyone else. I think a lot of Flygon fans would love to have it in Unite as a playable character rather than as a wild Pokemon. Up next is Hisuian Samurott. Pokemon Legends Arceus has amazing new Pokemon, and the best candidates are the new Hisuian starters. However, amongst them, I believe that Hisuian Samurott fits the best for Unite. Hisuian Samurott could be a great all-around Pokemon. Its playstyle could be like a bruiser that also gives lingering damage to opponents when they continue to fight it. Hisuian Samurott definitely needs to include Ceaseless Edge as a move since it is its signature move in Legends Arceus. Hisuian Samurott and Greninja fans could also have a little fun rivalry to see who is the better Water Dark starter Pokemon in Unite. Next up is Surfetch. Surfetch is an odd pick here, but it has the right factors for a playstyle that could be the most dangerous Pokemon in the game. Surfetch would have a playstyle that is similar to Beidou in Genshin Impact, the countering playstyle. It means that Surfetch will be an all-around Pokemon. It can have a skill to use its shield to block opponents and deal a huge amount of damage if someone bites on it. It will still deal damage when doing the move, but not as much when it reacts to an opponent's attack. Surfetch could also deal with annoying Pokemon like Aegislash or Lucario with relative ease, but would not fare well against long-range characters like Alolan Ninetales and Pikachu. Surfetch would be a great addition in the game and could bring balance to Unite or shift the balance to its favor. Up next is Salamance. This Salamance would work great as an all-around Pokemon in the game since it can deal and take a lot of damage. Ever since Hoopa's ult made it change forms, I thought why not include that for other Pokemon. I believe that Salamence would be a perfect addition to that ult style by using its Mega Evolution. Since Charizard got an ult that was perfect for Salamence, I think that Salamence using its Mega Evolution could be amazing in the game, completely changing the tides of the battle. But like Hoopa's ult, Salamence cannot score while it's in this form. Salamence would work similar to Hisuian Samurott, with it being a physical bruiser and being especially powerful in the late game, similar to Garchomp. Next up is Shaymin. Shaymin fits the previous idea as well, but I propose that instead of an ult for it to change its forms, it uses its passive. Since Hoopa can actively use its passive ability, I figured that someone else could have that as well. For categories, Shaymin would be a long-ranged attacker or supporter, and its playstyle depends on its forms, whether it be a land form or sky form. I'm kinda torn between attacker or supporter since its playstyle would be great as a long-ranged Reaper, or its moveset would be best suited to supporting the team. I think that Shaymin would be a great part of Unite and can get more appreciation as the game continues. Up next is Flareon. I kinda wanted to include another evolution in the fray since Espeon and Sylveon are available in the game. Flareon would be an attacker since it's also long-ranged, but its playstyle revolves around zones. Zone offense or zone defense means that Flareon could be a great poker, annoyer, or pusher for teams, especially when Rotom is in the fray. It could be great for objective-driven players to have an arena of effect specialist that deals annoying amounts of damage. It's not meant to get KOs or grab highlights, but its main focus is objectives and cooperation from teammates. Next up is Genesect. People don't think about Genesect that often anymore, but oddly enough, Pokemon Unite is the perfect place for it to be used and represented. Due to the large cannon on its back, Genesect is an obvious attacker. Its playstyle would be similar to Decidueye, where it features as a very long-ranged sniper, attacking from afar and dealing major damage, but it will be very squishy when ambushed. It can provide some status ailments to opponents depending on the color of its beam to commemorate its unique elemental drives. Genesect would be a powerful addition in Unite and may even be a centerpiece to a lineup when built right. Up next is Nidoking. Nidoking would be a great bruiser and be a powerful character. Nidoking would be an all-around attacker or a defender depending how the playstyle is used. My idea of a Nidoking playstyle is that it can bulldoze through opponents while taking a huge amount of damage in the process. Nidoking could also be a character that works best when it's in the center of the team fight and gets stronger the more he takes damage. Bruiser Nidoking would work best for any lineup and be a versatile character mid-game to late game. Up next is Tairog. I decided to include Tairog here since I'd like to make a fun little gimmick. Tairog will evolve to its desired evolution depending on the moves you picked for it. So if you picked all punching moves, it will evolve into a Hitmonchan. All kicking moves, then Hitmonlee. A combination of punch and kick moves will be a Hitmontop. Due to this, I'm deciding that Tairog would be an attacker, but it can be played in any style the player chooses. This way, one Pokemon will determine the playstyle of millions of players, and each Tairog character could be good in their own way rather than focusing on the meta. And lastly is Mew. Mew is honestly the most balanced Pokemon in this video since it could be anything. Every stat is equal, it can learn any move, and even transform into other Pokemon. So the only category Mew is guaranteed to be in is as a supporter. Mew will definitely have some kind of crowd control in its moveset, but it's so crafty and convoluting that it could be anything, making it the perfect canvas for devs and Pokemon fans alike to make their own style of Mew. For me, Mew would work as a supporter and a teamfight expert, which would be perfect for objectives and last minutes. But you can also create your own style of Mew and it will fit the Pokemon no matter what. And that is 15 Pokemon that I want to see be included in Pokemon Unite as playable characters. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to show your support. Also, comment down below what Pokemon you want to see be included in Unite. I'll respond to as many comments as I can. I'm Hermitgrab, and I'll see you soon.